So, you know what we're doing and everything about the publication.
Well, I suppose I've heard of it, but I don't.
Okay. Basically, it's just a small publication that's going to feature each of you. So it'll be small sort of biographical sketches about each of the Hall of Famers. There are 17 now. And Ruth Culver, who's one of the first inductees, is going to write an introduction just about the history of the Hall of Fame, its purpose, objectives. And I'll probably write a preface just in something general about all of you. Okay, and then there'll be photographs, portraits of each of you. So we'll be sending a professional photographer around sometime either in February or March to photograph you.
I'm sure that he'll enjoy that.
So why don't we start with a little personal history? Like, did you grow up here, or are you from somewhere else?
Well, I grew up in Schoharie County.
Schoharie County? Where?
Well, down near Blenheim.
Oh, that's beautiful.
My people lived on a farm. And I had an aunt. I was named for my aunt Agnes. She did lots of quilts. She had in fact, she had one in the way back World Fair.
Yeah.
She had one that was given honorable mention. So stars and stars. And my mother didn't do a whole lot of, she did rag rugs and things like that. She didn't do a whole lot of quilting. But I've always loved to do all kinds of handwork. My eyes are dead now, and it's so hard for me. Yeah. Because I did that rug over there. I've done a lot of rugs, the hook rugs.
My goodness.
And
that's beautiful.
I've done the chair. I've got a lot of chair mats that I did. And I've done all kinds of things. I've done sewing, and I love to do it. But now my eyes are so bad, I can't see the light. It's terrible for me. I'm trying to finish up that quilt that I started the cathedral window. And I don't know if I'll ever get it done because I can't see to do it good. The last part I did on it wasn't good. I want to finish it for my son.
What point are you at?
I could call it finished now, but Charles wants it bigger. He's got an old-fashioned bed, 4-poster.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that.
See, I didn't want mine. A lot of people did strips of one color. I didn't want mine that way. I want mine to all, the pieces I had, and I try not to get any two pieces together.
Now, I've heard of this, but I've never seen it. How do you do this? Can you describe it?
You have to press it, and then not a lot of words. I can tell you, I don't advise anybody ever to try it. You don't.
It's beautiful, it really is.
Oh, I love it myself.
So all of these are individual little...
Well, they're all together, but it's... I can't fancy. I can show you how it's done. You gotta see, a lot of people, they wanted it to... This is supposed to be all filled in too, but I didn't like it. It was too busy. So I didn't do it that way. I think you have a piece of this.
They do?
One of them, yeah.
Oh, they do, okay. I know that they have squares for some people, but not for everyone.
Well, they have one of them. Because I had to
Is this a pattern that you've used a lot?
No.
No?
It's in the Call's magazine. Of course, when you get done, you're all done. There's no quilting or anything to it, see?
Right.
It's all...
It's kind of a throw or a cover.
Yeah, it's all hand. work. My last work wasn't as good as my first, but I can't help it. I can't sing that good, and so I just have to do the best I can with it. That's all.
When did you start this? How long did something like this take?
Gosh, I can't tell you how long ago I started. Well, if I'd been able to see, I could have finished it.
Yeah.
I have a friend in Downsville, and Sarah Brown, that made one for her granddaughter. And she made hers all, and she made one whole thing in red, one double line there in red, and then one in aqua, and one that she had different blue all the way through. It was a beautiful thing as she got through, but it wasn't the way it was pictured in the good house, not good housekeeping, the falls. And I thought the idea was to use up all your pieces, you know, and to use a different, and I liked the idea of the different, this cathedral window, and I thought it was nice to have all the different.
Right, right.
So that's the way I've done it. I loaned it to a lady, wanted to do it. It tells in there all about it. If you care, she got this back to me.
This article here? Oh, I see.
Tells different people that need it.
Okay.
See, that's where it's all filled in, all the squares. But I didn't, I didn't fill mine all in because I didn't want it that way. Then too, I thought it would be easier to do it this way because then I wouldn't have to make so many more of them. There's so much pressing though, and
yes, every individual thing has to press. Yeah. So, so you learned to quilt. How old were you? Very young.
I just, you know, they had quiltings around different places in the town, and so I quilted. I didn't. Tell you the truth, I never was too crazy about it.
Oh, really?
No, I thought it was quite a lot of work for what you got out of it. My husband was really funny. He said he couldn't understand anybody cutting up pieces of good material and then sewing it back together again. But they used to have quilting bees around, you know, and people. So that's how I learned to quilt.
Oh, not from your mother or your aunt?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Well, I did for my aunt. I saw her quilt. I knew how to do it, you know, but I had never had any real experience, so I did it. But
you didn't like a lot of women that I've spoken to made a quilt before they were married.
Oh, no.
You didn't do anything like that, no?
I made each one of my grandchildren. This one that I made that was a blueberry that my grandson, he was my oldest one, and I gave him the first quilt. I made for him.
What kind is that?
That's the one I made for this. That was the earth and plate, the one that I had.
Okay. And
then I made a one for my granddaughter. I got a picture around that somewhere of that. And she was married, and I gave her that. And then I had a younger granddaughter, and I had given her another one. And then I want to make this one. I've never made a whole lot of quilts, like some people, like my aunt, like that. But I like to do all that kind of handwork, and so I do it.
What do you think it is about quilting or any kind of handwork that makes you want to do it?
Well, I think it's it relaxes you. I could be just as tense as could be. And I used to get up mornings with these. I've got some beautiful of these rugs. I used to get up mornings, and while my husband, they were getting their breakfast and messing around, I couldn't do anything for them. I would be in the living room and sit down with that, and I'd work out of that. That's when I did my best work.
In the morning?
Yeah, I used to go sit down at the... My husband never was that one that liked to have anybody around, but he liked to eat his breakfast and do as he wanted to.
Yeah.
And the children, they got up and had their cereal and what they wanted. So I just went in the front room, left it alone, and I sat and worked at that. And that's when I did my best work. But no matter what it is, I taught in the school down there, the evening classes. I taught Swedish darning and knitting and
oh, really?
crocheting and all those things. As I say now that I can't see, you know how hard it is for me to sit and not be able to do those things.
Yeah, I bet.
It is.
So you don't have a substitute really for that?
No. Because I love to do it. It just relaxes me and I feel, I don't know, just so I'm in another world, I guess.
I understand that. So as far as quilts go, was there any kind of pattern that you favored?
I like them all.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any favorite. The one I made my granddaughter was very pretty. That I lived with a Peter Bullis in Downsville. Her son and daughter-in-law went to Florida every winter, and she was afraid to stay alone, so I went and stayed with her for a couple of winters, and she makes all kinds of quilts. She just works all the time. And she got me started on this quilt. I have another one started. I don't think I'll ever get it done. Like I'm all cut out. Now you put those you put a paper or a cardboard inside, and then you pull the cardboard out, and they're little squares, and then you sew them together. And then we didn't quilt it, we tied it, and we tied it with white wool, and we tied it to the wrong side, and just so that made just the little where you went up and down, just on the right side.
Okay.
And tried to keep it so, and then the other side was tied with the white wool. And it was very satisfactory. I like it. She's made several of them. So I was down there last winter for a while, and so she started me on another one. But as I say, my eyes don't like to have to do it. You know, you got to do it good, else it's good. On those things.
Well, they're probably better than you're thinking they are.
Yeah, I don't know, but it just doesn't suit me. I want it done right else.
Well, the quilts that you've done and that you're working on, how do you choose what pattern you're going to do?
Well, I have lots of, my son brought me books, you know, and I see them in the magazines and everything. And I just pick out what, now especially this one. This was new, something new when it came out. And you know, the McCall's has that magazine that was in there. And Charles, when I saw it, his son Charles up there, the minute that I saw it, I liked it, and he did too. And he said, "Oh, mother, I should make me one for my head." There's not as a quilt, but just as a spread. And so, I thought it was going to be since I got all the material. I got going at it, then when I got there, so this is so much fun as I thought it was going to be. I'm glad I've got as much done as I have, though, because you can use it as a quilt. It isn't, I tell them you can put a dust ruffle around, but I never get anything more done. I'm 85. I was 85 the 29th of December.
Good for you.
And I would be active when my eyes was good now. I'd be out shoveling, doing everything.
Do you have cataracts? Or?
Well, no, it's a deterioration of the optic nerve.
Oh dear.
So that's pretty final.
Yeah.
I have, you know what, too, cataracts. But he says I may not live long enough to ever have him operated on.
Who says that? Your doctor?
Doctor. So what's the sense of worrying about that? Yeah, I figured. I can see. I can see even though just about as good without my glasses as I can with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to Cooperstown and I went to Dr. Farrell first. I liked him so much, but then he left there. So my son said, well, the one that took his place ought to be pretty good, you know. They pay to get him. So, let me see. Evans. Dr. Evans. And he said, well, I think he said that you had new glasses. So I think I could pick up the glasses that you could see. Of course, I'll try anything. So I got these new glasses. And oh, they are pretty good. But I can see with my naked eye almost as soon as I can use glasses.
Oh, really?
It does bring it up a little. But I can't read or do anything without my And I've always had such wonderful eyes. I have such good eyes. It's just...
You must be hard to cope with.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I'll sigh once in a while and say something, and my son said, well, Mother, you gotta realize 85, you gotta get something, but I guess I just thought I wouldn't.
So, what about colors? Do you think that there are colors in terms of the kind of work you do that you prefer? Do you tend to use the same kinds of colors over and over again, or do you?
Well, I like these different colors.
Yeah.
I buy material mostly just by a quarter of a yard, especially for these little things. It makes quite a lot of plots. And then people, you know, when you're doing it, they give you pieces, and oh no, I like lots of color in them.
It's all different colors.
Oh,
You're not fond of blues or reds.
Well, I like it. That one that I made, that was in blue. And I got started on that through a lady that lived here in town. Her mother, they used to go on a trip every fall, and they'd leave her mother somewhere, you know, while they were gone. And so she came to my house. I lived in Astoria, Long Island. And she brought this quilt with her. And she said she had it, well, quilt, I mean, the pieces and things, you know, started. And she said, well, Agnes, I brought this. I thought maybe, I know you can get things done. She said, and I thought maybe you get it done. My sister was a relation to her. She's Mrs. Lutz down at the nursing home down at Claude Lutz's mother.
You
probably don't know.
I don't know.
No. Well, he's insurance man. And she said I would give him it to Blanche. My sister, they were relatives. She said that I knew that she doesn't ever, I wouldn't want to know it, but she never gets anything down. And she said I didn't want to have it. She said, well, I know that you finish it. Of course, I just broke my neck, finished it. And so that was my first quilt. And I like I'll tell you another pattern I think it's pretty, and that's the flower garden. I've got one of those. I think I tied most of that, some of that. And
how do you determine whether or not you're going to quilt or tie? Is it a matter of time?
Well, I think the quilted quilt is much nicer than the tied one myself. Although these that we did, like I did for my granddaughter and she did for her granddaughter, when they were tied through to the back was, you know, pretty with the knots on the back, and the front didn't hardly show where we did it. I didn't mind that, but I don't care for them where they got the big knots on the front too much. There's some of them that are pretty, but it's not my choice. Quilted quilt is much nicer.
So is there a part of the whole process from piecing to quilting that from cutting to quilting that you enjoy more than any other part?
Well, I think I enjoy putting it together. I like to put it together. I like to see some progress, you know.
Do you use a lap hoop or a frame?
No, I've had a lap hoop. I have one of those round ones. I don't have it now, but I used to have it. I guess I don't do anything with it now. I can't do anything. But I think if you're going to make a big quilt, it's better to put it on a big frame. You know, and it seems to all work out better.
It does.
Yes, I think so.
Why? Because you can see the overall.
Yeah, you see the overall. And I sometimes think it's easier to quilt that way myself.
Yeah.
Easier to quilt that way when it's all on big frame. And
I just talked to someone on Friday who doesn't use anything to quilt.
yeah, I know there are people that do.
I couldn't imagine how she did it. It's like she has to crawl all over the floor and baste the whole thing
Sure.
first.
It seems to me like a lot of work for what you get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you ever sell any? No.
No. I didn't, too much work to sell.
Yeah.
I have enough to do, for I had just those 3 grandchildren. And as I say, they each have one, and I want to get this one for Charles because he's so fond of his pattern, and say he has an old-fashioned bed for a poster.
So how did you learn to hook rugs? That's just gorgeous.
Well, I've got some beautiful rugs. That's just, that was started out to be a whole carpet. I bought that in Bloomingdale's, and you could buy pieces and put on. At that time, I was very ambitious. I was planning to, do more, but... Oh, we had it in school at class.
You did?
Yeah, in school there. Downsville's where my home is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a home down there. And I started there. I always enjoyed that. And then I had, as I say, I had every man's white woolen pants that was in town. Every time they had a rummage sale, I'd go get their pants because that's the nicest thing for background. It's beautiful for background. And I use mostly that in my rugs. And I just enjoyed it. I like to see the progress. So I've got some seats out here. I made half a dozen seats. I'll bring it. I have to tell you about the first rug I made. Of course, I chose the biggest thing I could find. Not knowing enough to be ambitious. This is 2 of the seats.
So they're all different.
Oh, yeah, they're all different.
It's just beautiful.
Black and violet, and that's the, what is it?
I'm not sure.
Oh, get them in the woods. Charles, what's this one? My husband's got them out of the woods. What is this one here? Baby slippers.
Oh, yes,
Baby
yes.
slippers. Oh, I had all kinds of rules that I rules from. I love them. This is nice to do too. Where is that one rug? One I made first. One is that. And Charles, I didn't get it down. Oh, I've worked on it how many years?
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell them how many, Charles. I can't. And I finally.
Well, the first part of it that she did in one winter. She
Yeah.
broken her ankle. So she did this big oval. And then we didn't see it again for about 10 years. And I said to her one day, what are we going to do, break your ankle? Where did we get that rug done? And then she started working again.
That's great.
Several people made that same rug, different ones in Walton. They just made it. They all made a black background. I never wanted black background. I think they show up with dirt, so everything. I didn't want the black one. I made mine with cream, and I thought mine was as pretty as hers. I like the cream background. That's the reason I get all these fans.
That's great.
I've got some down home now. I said if anyone went in my house and see all the stuff I've got. You'd wonder what I had those white pants for, but I know. And then the postmistress there, she was doing it, and she died. And I bought all of her stuff. Yeah, this is the one that took me so many years to do.
That's just incredible.
And there isn't a thing that's died in there. I got all.
Oh, really?
They were. I go to rummage sales, and I know what each one is. You know, I know. That yellow in there, Charles had a coat, an old jacket, you know. I made that. And the purple, I think, was Mrs. Krause's. Some of her stuff I got from her. Each one, you know, I knew where I got it at the time.
That's amazing. Beautiful.
But
The background was woolen underwear.
yeah, this was woolen underwear.
And I saw this old lady next door to my office throwing this stuff in an incinerator. And I ran out and I said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm burning it up." Well, I said, "Don't burn it. My mother wants it for a rug." So after the rug was done, these people had moved away. It was in old Compacton. We went to their house one day, and they came out to the car, and the lady said, "You've met my husband, haven't you?" My mother said, "No, but I'm acquainted with his underwear." His face got so red, he didn't know what she was talking about, you know.
This rug is all out of his underwear.
That is great. Just beautiful. My goodness.
I love it. As I say, they made theirs black. All the background was black. And of course it did set it off. But somehow I didn't
I can't imagine the black.
I didn't want it black.
Yeah.
I wanted it. I'm quite a woman for my own ideas, you know. I like to carry them out. I think you should have your own way you want it and do it that way.
So you can take a pattern and do it to your own specifications, more or less. Yeah.
That's sort of that quilt. Now that isn't made at all like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We're all supposed to be filled in, but
Right.
when we got doing it, and Charles said he didn't care it was filled in. He quite liked it this way. So I thought, well, that's less work. I'll buy something for the shortcut. So.
So we're in Downsville. Your husband was not a farmer then?
No, he was worked on sand. He was an engineer. He was qualified. He came there in 1942. And I had my father's sister had married there in Downsville, and I'd always heard of Downsville, but I'd never been there, so I knew we were going there to live. So then we bought a little house, and I still have it. Wish I didn't now, I guess. So much work to keep it up and keep it. We got to keep out under it all a while, but Charles likes it. And he wants to go back there when he retires from this, and so we'll keep it together. But it's a headache, and it's a lot of money every year, you know, to keep it up. All the things. But,
is it an old house or?
yeah, it's a small house, but it's an old house. But that was another thing that I saw, and I just. It was a house for me. I don't care for big houses. I like small, cozy houses. So we fixed it just the way we wanted it. But it's like optic nerves. They deteriorate after a while, you know. I'm going to have some final siding put on if the man ever gets around to put it on. He said he'd do it in January, and I'm going to say, you better hurry up. January's pretty near over.
Yeah.
And there's other things that I've had things done this year too. You have to keep, you know, you got to live there. You got to get things done to it all the while.
That's a lot of work.
But we liked it. I had a little model that I cut out of a magazine. It said, and I cut it out, I was going to put it on plaster Parish and when it's on those plaques. It was a little house, but it's all our own. A place to love and a place called home. And that's the way I always felt about the place. We lived there for 40 years. My husband died 4 or 5 years ago. We had an artificial heart put in.
Oh, you did?
And wow. Not Cooperstown.
That's before you heard any of, about any of that stuff.
Well, they were some,
Yeah.
but, so they had one temporary for an operation they had, and that worked out pretty good, but then when they had the real one, it just didn't work. Of course, it always been inseparable. They never were away from each other. I had two children. I had Charles, and then 10 years later, I had a girl.
Oh, really?
She lives in Sparta, New Jersey. She has these 3 children that I spoke about. And Charles is ever married. He's a bachelor. So, I got a good life. I've done things that I wanted to do, and I was always active. I like to play cards, and I like to do all that sort of thing. That's the reason what way I am now, I guess, because nobody plays cards around here. They don't even play dominoes.
They don't?
No.
I do.
You do? I had where I stayed down here to the nursing home, the Catones. I got him to play with me, Mr. Catone, none of the rest of them to play with me. And I didn't want to be, but I couldn't help it. I
didn't want
but I beat him so much he wouldn't play with me anymore. Now, I said I was going to advertise the paper for someone, just somebody to come in, and play once in a while. It would pass the time away. But nobody's interested. They don't do anything. I'm just afraid.
Yeah. So how long have you been staying here?
Well, I don't know just how long I've been here, but after a while, my sister's down there at Catone's. And I had to stay because she was there quite a lot of it, and this one's very good to me. And when Charles goes away, I can go down and stay there, and it makes it awfully nice for me. So, but Charles, I don't know, I like to be here with him. I sometimes think it's too much for him if he has to cook for me. I can't cook, I can't see enough to do anything. I can cook, but I don't like to cook.
You don't?
No, I don't taste good. Make a big meal, I love that. Eat a big meal.
For a lot of people,
yeah. Just every day you think of something to you. That's the part that bothers me.
Yeah.
But Charles was good cook. He don't like to cook very good. My husband was a wonderful cook.
Yeah.
My sister, or somebody said to me once, well, I guess my husband said that we learned to cook together. And I said, yes, you learned faster than I did. And I said, I knew you liked it, so I let you go ahead. I didn't. But he could. He's an awful good cook. Everything tasted so good that he made. And he didn't mind it. He just, just seemed to be natural. And Charles does good cooking, but he don't like it like everybody. He'll do it. And it's okay, but... Where do you live? Where's your home?
I live in Margaretville.
Where's that?
Main Street, Margaretville.
Do you know George Stanbridge?
No.
Joan Stanbridge? No. Joan Kite, I guess her name is. They're my friends. And then I have the girl came down from there to Hoots boy. In fact, she was a nurse. And she married Hoots boy in Roxbury.
You know,
Nancy, what was her name? She used to come there to the, like a clinic that he had. I loved her. And she finally married the Hoots, Jack Hoots, I think.
She's got blonde hair. Does she have blonde hair?
Yes, I don't know. I
think I know who you mean. Yeah. She's a friend of my boyfriend's. I've only been in Margaretville for 8 months now. And
I used to go to the doctor a little while. My doctor Caleb was my doctor. And I always went there to the doctor, and we went there a while. If you ever get a chance to get acquainted with that Mrs. Stanbridge too, because she's an awful nice person. They live up, what street is that? Orchard.
Okay, yeah, I know. Orchard.
It's a large house. She has an apartment in back she rents. in the garage, like over the garage, and then she had a part in her house, but then when her daughter's husband died, well, she came there, now she works for Dr. Gupta over in Belheim, I got to. She's the office minister over there. They're very nice people.
So when you went down to, when you were a member of, you said you went to bees, quilting bees, was there a group that met regularly? Was the guild or, no?
Just when they felt like being, and then as I say, I stayed with this Frida boy, and she was always making quilts. She put them right on the dining room table and quilted. That's where she did hers.
Oh, really?
She was making one for her daughter-in-law, Orchid White, when I was there. Beautiful thing. And she worked 2 years on that. And I was down to see her the other day. She's staying home this winter. She'd like to have me stay with her. I used to have a car. I'd take her, we could go wherever we wanted to go, but can't drive anymore. And it's hard for her to get around. Well, it's the same car trucks and everything, but it's an effort. She's getting older, and I think it's an effort for her to have me. And I just feel it's too much for her. I wouldn't know, but it was a long time, and I liked her so much. But she did lots of quilts. She did an awful lot of quilts. And she did wall hanging for her daughter, all her patterns, And Miss Sarah Brown just does beautiful work. Really, and her mother lives down in Margaretville, right on that same street with George Sandwich. On the end of the street, her name is, awful.
Not that long street. I know someone who lives on Lake Street.
She's way over on the end, this woman. And her daughter is that Miss Todd that married Brian Bergen.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of people in that. That's a lot of people.
Now, who nominated you to the Hall of Fame?
Muriel Pons up here. She's a retired school teacher that come here to her old cousin or something had a house here.
Yeah.
She came here and retired and built a little small house. She's head of the museum now.
This museum? And
they wanted to get someone. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it at all.
Why not?
Well, I just didn't want to do what my work was good enough for that I wanted to do it. But I guess I couldn't get anybody else.
You're also modest. Everybody has said, I don't deserve it. Everyone else's work is better than mine.
Well, I didn't do all the quilting on that quilt.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I felt. Then I got a magazine here, and I took something out of it, and this woman never even quoted hers. She just had, just tied it, and she's in the Hall of Fame, so I saw the truth in it. But then I didn't feel so bad, but I think it ought to be on anyone's own words, I think she should fly on somebody else's.
So did you go to the induction ceremony? And where was it that year?
Down to the Dutcher Farm Church. I'm the oldest living member of that church.
Are you?
See how old I am. I joined years ago. I was married over there in that store. My sister lived upstairs on the floor. And right over there.
The married mufflers and pipes?
This
store right here?
Yeah, right through there it is.
Oh.
You can see the back end of it. You can't see the front end of it. I lived with my sister for a few years. She had these children, small children. And I came up here to stay with her and take care of the kids, help take care of the kids. My husband was a Methodist. And my brother-in-law was a very devoted church member. He was on the history and everything in the church. And so I soon converted my husband over to Dutch Reform, and then our children were born, they were baptized there. And of course we hadn't lived here in a good many years, you know. Moved around a lot. I've seen 3-4 spots.
Yeah.
And most people would take the letter everywhere they went. They took the letter. I never wanted to. I said no. I have a feeling for that church. I never say it's another one. And I want to keep my letter right there. So we give them a little something every year, and we took our letter here. And I still remember.
I have to make sure I've asked you all questions about quilting I need to ask you. Okay. Have you ever won any awards for your, other than the Hall of Fame? Or, no?
Never tried to. That was funny.
Yeah. Do you consider things like quilting or your rug hooking an art?
Yes, I do.
And how would you define art?
Well, I would say it's something that pleases your eye, and that is, you have to work at it, same you do anything else, you know. You've got to, and of course, some people, you know, just do just what everybody else does. You know, same. I never been that way. I always found mine different than everybody else's. And I like my house, and my clothes, and everything. I never wanted it just like everybody else. I think you have to be individual. And I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. Some people can see beauty in anything. Some people can't see it in anything. My mother could take an old sugar bowl that was cracked, had handles on it, she put a pretty ribbon in it, hang it up, put a vine in it, and it would be a pretty thing. You know, I think people just have to have a eye and want to do something like that. And my son's very artistic. He can do anything.
So do you think that your mother's artistic abilities influenced you?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. When I was hooking rugs, Charles would say, well, can't you see that? Can't you see how that ought to be? You know, he could see it.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't. So I think he had an act for it. Really. Wow. After I see how it's supposed to, I can do it all right, but to go, you know, just visualize it.
Before you even started the whole thing,
Yeah, I can't visualize it. You know, you can. You can see the whole thing done. You just sense it.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Okay. Now, one last, I'd like to take some photographs of anyone sending me the work, if that's okay. Is there anything you feel like I should know about?
Your camera can stand it.
What?
What do you mean?
I don't think you'll break it. Do you think there's anything that you'd like for me to know, or anything in particular you'd like to see in whatever I write about you? Can you think of anything that you think is important?
I don't think something's important from you. You just you'll have to dream up something.
Okay. No, I think that you said a lot of really good things. I get excited when people say wonderful things, because it's almost like I know exactly what I'm going to write as you're talking. All right, let me some photographs.
I've made Agnes for all my grandchildren.
Oh, you have?
And there's one I made for Charles. That looks very...
You do everything. This is wonderful.
I've tried everything. I really had, that's the reason now, when I get these books, if there's anything in there, you know, for childhood, somebody makes and things, and there's anything new to start, oh, yeah, I couldn't wait to get that started, you know.
Yeah.
No, I can't do it. No, it just bothers me to death. I just have no idea.
I don't do any of this, but I'm so inspired by what I see that I really want to learn.
So if you ever get into it, you'll never want to stop.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah.
It's just out of this world, I think. I think anyone that don't do handwork is missing something. Because it's, as I say, it relaxes me. And the time passes so fast when you're doing something, you know, you're so anxious to see the next step.
Yeah.
See how it's going to.
Is there any quilt, specifically about quilts, any one quilt that you think is more memorable or than the others you've made?
Well, I think this is going to be about pretty sure I made it. Because I think this is different. I like it. But I think any quilt that's done well, I think it's nice. I don't care what they are. You might give me that quilt if you want me to have something here.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Did you do all these pillows?
No, I didn't but it's colored a little, you know, it's on the chairs and things. Can't help that. I guess.
So what is it about the backs? I mean, this is almost reversible.
Yeah, I say I try to keep the back to it. I don't have any, you know, lots of people have the ends of hanging, they never can show the back of anything. I never do that. I want.
Let me see if I can. Let me get a close up of this. I love this pattern.
Well, I do too.
If I start quilting, I should not start with this pattern.
No, because there's no quilting to it.
I mean, if I start, but it looks so.
Yeah, don't start with this because you'd be discouraged for you.
Yeah, I think so.
Do something that's simpler.
Let me get a couple more of you.
Oh dear. I'm not the best photographic material, I don't think.
Not true. Okay. One more. Well, it's kind of, I know it's embarrassing, but you'll end up looking great, believe me.
Well, I shouldn't say about it. And what I am, can't make any difference. That's the way I feel about it.
Oh, we're also thinking of, let me help you put that away.
No, I just lay it out there on the stairs. He said that's where he got it in. Well, I've used this. I had it around before.
Oh, really?
Oh, sure.
You let people walk on it.
Right here on the stairs.
Oh.
Can I go through this?